Hello, everybody. How are you guys doing out there? It's time to read Everything Happens for a Reason. It's the glamorous granny. Yeah, I'm gonna sit on my bed today because I feel more comfortable being in my room. Hi, hi. The book is called Everything Happens for a Reason. Yeah, back there is my vision board. We're not gonna talk about that. Hi, what's going on out there? Hi, Frankie. Hi, everybody. I'm at the end of the book. Can you believe it? Oh my God. Can you believe it? Almost at the end of this book. Seriously. On being better than you think you are. I think it was Answering the Bell. It's called Answering the Bell. Answering the Bell. There are many kinds of wake up calls. Some come in a dream. Let's talk about Freddie. Freddie was in his mid 30s. He was building. He was a building into entrepreneur. Yeah. Who hung out with a fast crowd of big spenders. On a trip to Los Angeles, Freddie was at a party with hot and cold running hookers. Hookers, I guess that's what rich guys do. Run around with thoughts and everything. And a cocaine buffet. That's my door. Hold on. Because he wanted to open it. Door gonna open and close. That's the wind. Yeah, buddy. He was an entrepreneur running around with these hot hookers. Ooh, and a cocaine buffet. Back then, everybody did that. Back in the day. On a trip to Los Angeles, Freddie party, yeah, with these hookers. He overdosed and was taken to the hospital and nearly died. And an important deal fell through when news of this got out. Ooh. His fiance left him. Why had this happened to him? He wondered. None of the other guys got in trouble, and some of them had done a lot more drugs than Freddie. One night after all this happened, Freddie had a dream. He was a little boy walking to his grandfather's study. His grandfather was there, surrounded by huge jars of candy. Take whatever you want. His grandfather said. He woke up in tears. Sometimes we just know what a dream means. Freddie Freddie knew his grandfather had been dead for a number of years. He'd been a powerful self-made man, a pillar of community and a patriarch of the family. Freddie had been his favorite grandchild. We got some of them favorite grandkids that we invest a lot in, but Freddie was his favorite. He felt the dream meant that he could become everything his grandfather had been. Take whatever you want of the good things I have. The key to the dream was the tears that he shed when he woke up. They were tears of guilt and remorse over the stupid, wasteful things he'd done. Now he'd understood that there was a reason why he got into such trouble. It was to remind him of the fact that the one thing he truly cared about was that one day he could become like his grandfather. Did anybody out here want to be like their grandmother? As any guys want to be like their grandfather or anybody in their family? Yeah. A man of substance, not because he was rich, but because he was a good person. Excuse me. And if he didn't become a good person, he would never become a man. of substance. Sometimes you don't see what you have until you come close to losing it. As they say, you never know a good thing until it's gone. Nah, not me. There are many people like Freddie. Immaturity distracts living in the moment. Laziness all play a part in preventing these people from seeing how much they need to become good people. It often takes a disaster to reveal their destinies to them. Hmm. This one was answering your getting a wake up call. How many people get those? So wake up. Next section on being better than you think you are. Wonder what that's about. Let me tell you about Bradford. A 29. At 29, he was a big, solid, rugged looking African American. He owned a workshop where he made fine wooden furniture by hand, dressed in brown corduroy paintings, black turtleneck, and he looked uncomfortable talking about his life and his feelings. Bradford had lived through one of those horrible childhoods that leave even old hands like me shaking their heads. It would have been a step up if his father had simply abandoned his family, but his father abandoned them. Came back, spent their money, got drunk, beat up his mother, abandoned them again, and then came back again, restarting the whole process over and over. His mother coped by dragging Bradford and his sisters from one part of the city to another, where then she took a dead end jobs, got involved with crewmen, drank to escape her pain. We know people that do that. Drink to escape their pain from abuse, whether it's mental, physical, emotional, social, or financial. Bradford had to take care of his sisters. No one had ever taken care of him. I'm not here to complain, he said to me, nearing the beginning of our work together. It's just the opposite. My childhood is too much in my head, and I want to get it out of my head. All it does is hurt me. I've screwed up every relationship I've been in. I'm afraid I'll never be able to open and relax with anybody I care about. I feel like a car that was made in a really, really bad factory. And all that car can think about is how he must be one really bad car. Sometimes we think we're bad seeds. Be careful. Words have power. Be careful what you speak to yourself. This is wrong and stupid. I want to stop feeling this way. But I keep asking myself, why did it happen to me? Having a childhood like that. I want to I want to get the stuff from my past out of my life. I want to stop thinking about it. I want to get close to people. I want to stop feeling like a victim. I want to be happy. If I can just figure out some reason for what happened, I'll be okay, Bradford said. I'd like to ask you something, Brad. I said, I know you went through some really tough times growing up. What do you think is the difference that made for you? What do you want me to say? It sucked. It made me mad, Brad said. Okay, that's good. Usually when we get mad, we say, I'm gonna something. Well, in your case, what? I was mad. I didn't want to do anything. I just wanted to make sure that I didn't do the same things to my family when I have one. Sort of like, don't do unto others what you don't want them to do unto you. Something like that, Bradford said. I took a deep breath. Now I'm going to take a risk here. I'd be willing to bet that since you've grown up, you haven't always been a good person as you like to be. Instead of getting insulted, Bradford agreed with me easily. I don't actually get this, but I'm amazed at what a jerk I can be sometimes. I remember my father, if he was walking somewhere and you were in his way, he just shoved you into the wall. Mm, nah. I remember so clearly thinking I'd never be like that. But no, if guys who worked in my shop make a mistake, I can be brutal sometimes. I'm not trying to be mean, but then it's it's gradually dawned on me that maybe my father hadn't been trying to be mean either. Mean people just do it without trying. And I hate it so much when I'm a jerk like that. I couldn't feel worse. One more question, Brad. She asked, has it ever caused you any real pain that you've mistreated someone? That's what I just said, Bradford said sharply. Weren't you even listening? I like cut down some guy who works with me and I could see he was hurt. Have you ever worked with somebody and you say something, but you don't think about it? You don't think it's going to hurt them, but it do. Remember, words have power. Be careful what you say because you may not want to say it to you. You can tell because they avoid you for the rest of the day, like you're going to hurt them again. I'd see that, and I knew I made it happen. Brad was like, "Okay, I did it. So what?" But you got to think about that other person's feelings. We all have feelings. Well, Brad, I have to tell you that you fit the pattern perfectly. I think I can show you right now a way for you to find meaning in what happened to you. What happened was a way to help you be a better person, more to help you be genuinely a good person. Not just better, but genuinely. Oh my. Okay, check out. You were mistreated. That hurt you. You mistreated others. And that not only hurt them, it also caused you pain as well. So when you heard somebody saying something, don't you know you hurting yourself too? Because it can reverse back. Karma's a bitch. Remember that. That means you're a part of the club of people who find meaning in what happened to them from the discovery that they really need to become good people. Now you tell me, I continue. Hasn't it been chewing you up inside to know that you want to be a good person, that you can be one, but to see that you're not really a good person as you could be by far? I was taking a risk. After all, he could say no. Bradford stunned me. In a low voice, he said, I always thought of myself as a bad person. That's the truth. I was afraid. I was like my father, bad like him, weak like my mother. I go around like, hey, I'm a good guy. But that's a front. I don't want you to know the kind of person I'm afraid. I really am. Maybe learning to be a truly good can be something you take away from what happened to you because you have the capacity to be a much better person than you ever imagined. I just don't think really bad people think of themselves as bad. What? The fact that you thought that is a sign that you've always wanted to make the journey that you see in front of you. Hmm. So, what do I do now? Bradford said. Bradford's journey had begun. After our work together, I got a note from him. Here in the park. Here in part is what he wrote. Sometimes I still believe that what life had been trying to teach me was that I needed to be a better person. I look at my hands that handle wood all day. Every day after work, I put lotion on them to soften them up. Now I find out that the reason I went through the stuff in my life that I did was to soften me up and make me more kinder and more compassionate. I don't think I would have come up with that reason in a million years on my own. You just get locked into the idea that tough things make you tough. All the craziness I went through growing up. Hey, if you can't learn to take care of yourself, you're in trouble. I learned to take care of myself. I think I would have learned to take care of myself no matter what. That's the whole thing. I'm a tough guy. The reason stuff happened to me in my life wasn't to make me more of a tough guy, it was to help me complete the picture, become a little softer, sweeter, kinder, hopefully easier to love one day. I just wanted to thank you, Myra, for helping me with this. As the letter continued, I could see that Bradford went after his new life with his typical mixture of skepticism and practical. He decided for the first time in his life he will become friends with women. Oh, he sensed that would help show him the way to become a better person. One of the women he became friends with worked with teenage girls who were at risk. Bradford set up a program for teaching these girls carpentry skills. This woman had a 5-year-old daughter. Eventually, Bradford fell in love with this woman. They're now married, and he has adopted her daughter. Next. Hey, this worked for Mother Teresa. Let's see what happens here. There was There we are in our busy, overcommitted lives. Suddenly, we learned that everyone on the staff of Cosmic Kindergarten, hey, that's the word, ding, 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 Cosmic Kindergarten, worked very hard to teach us that we need to become actively good. But how do you do that? That's the question. Question mark. It's different for everyone. But the key in doing something, not waiting around thinking, but acting. If your neighbor's house was on fire, you wouldn't stand around wondering what was the best thing to do, would you? You would call the fire department, bring blankets for the people who've come out the house, take in the pets so they don't have to worry about them, make coffee for the firefighters. Haha. In in the same way, if the meaning of what happened to you is that you need to be a good person, don't just stand there. Do something. And always think about doing something. For example, think about something you care about and do something about it. Think about a way you were hurt and do something to help others who've been hurt the same way. Like they said, everybody's story is a testimony for somebody else. Just like people have unusual relationships with their daughters, with their sons, with their spouses, with their coworkers, or just anybody in general. Imagine the next time you're at a party, spot the loneliest looking person there and talk to him or her. Just walk up and say, "Hi, how are you?" And they're shy. You can bring them out with a joke or two. Let me fix my sleeve. Yeah. Imagine being your spouse. What do you think he or she needs to be just a little bit happier? Do that. Bring the kind of energy you have in life to being a better person. This is important. You just have to be a better you, not a different you. If you're in a business, for example, look for opportunities for doing good the way you look for opportunities for making money. If you're strong suit one-on-one personal contact, then find ways to help people one-on-one. Don't feel sorry for yourself. It may feel that you have a steep road ahead of you, but it's a road that will give you a lot, and you're far from alone. A lot of people are going through something right about now, trying to make do, trying to survive. If you see it, you feel it, it's real. The history of a human race is filled with people who learned this lesson. We all know the story of Shakespeare's King Lear, a man with all the wealth and power a person could want, who makes a decision to retire. In the process, he loses everything, not just his wealth and power, but the one daughter who truly loved him. But everything happens for a reason. For King Lear, the reason was the necessary lesson on how to be kind. As a king, he'd had everything, but he couldn't leave this earth until he'd learned to be truly a good person. King Lear was one of those people who think of himself as a winner, as if there was some inevitable to his success. He may start to think that this inevitability comes from special talents or even from being chosen by God. With people like this, you can often anticipate the coming disasters. But success is never inevitable. People who believe they're winners get lazy, self indulgent, and arrogant. They're no good people, not as good as they could be. So, when something bad happens, its meaning can be easy to read. They needed a lesson on how important it is to be a good person, with a particular focus on humility. This is a very instructive point. Just think about it for a moment. Here we are living in cosmic kindergarten. Things happen to us to teach us lessons. That's why it says everything happens for a reason. Every lesson learned, you make changes. You don't do the same thing. Do something different every day. Do you wear the same clothes every day? Do you dress the same way every day? Do you wake up in the same mood every day? Try to wake up with joy and peace and be grateful that you're still here. The point of this is a learning of it all is learning. So maybe, just maybe, we can bypass the catastrophe by learning first. If we start out humble, new word of the day, humble, and stay that way, it is little less likely that something will have to happen to teach you humility. After all, humble people work harder and don't take good outcomes for granted. Congratulations, we have completed. Everything happens for a reason. You've had the guts since your life is full of meaning. You were willing to take a big risk to find that meaning, and now you found it. I want to thank you for being kind person. All the good things in life come from people who have deep convictions that everything that happens, everything that they do has meaning. The fact that you've made this journey with me means you understand this. And now I think you also understand something else. Throughout our lives, we are all reborn continuously as we repeatedly create new selves out of our encounters with life. Every time something happens, that is a big enough to shake us up. Whether it's bad or good, it fertilizes the self with some new learning that the self had somehow always been waiting for. And it's out of that your new self is born. Opportunities for the continuous renewal happen over and over and over. It's up to you, me, and anybody whether we welcome this process and try to understand it. We can do that by being open to the fact that everything that happened is for a reason to us, has meaning, by looking for that meaning in the way I described in this book. Ms. Myra did. If we do cosmic kindergarten, guarantees that all good things that are possible for us, all the good things that can come from us, will in fact appear in our lives. I finally made it. Everything happens for a reason. I have one more thing for you guys. Let me see what this book is by her. Her name is Myra Kirschenbaum. Ha ha ha. Let's see what we got. In case you forgot to remind yourself, your butt is perfect, your smile lights up the room. Your mind is insanely cool. You are way more than enough, and you are doing an amazing job. Peace. From the glamorous granny. Remember to smile. And at 8 o'clock, please catch Carla Nicole and Javon M. Clark on Ranting and Raving on YouTube. Oh, here's my ring. Have a good one.